Hey everybody, I'm here at the Tri-Five Nationals here in Bowling Green, Kentucky, and as you can see behind me, all around me, we've got nothing but 55, 56 and 57 Chevys, from 150s, 210s to the beautiful Bel Airs, of course. So I had to be here, and so glad I am, because the place is absolutely brilliant. You don't know where to look. Got all the colors here. It's just amazing. No matter where you put your eyes, you're going to see something that you want to walk over to. Okay, Brad, please tell us. It's a beautiful 57 Bel Air. Now I noticed you've got a bit of memorabilia here, and there is something here as well. Dad's Bel Air. So tell us about your car.
So my dad bought the car in 2014. He was in somewhat poor health and felt that he really wanted to get another old car. Yeah. And so we shopped around. He found this one in New York State. It was unfinished restoration. It still needed a lot of work. We bought the car, made a deal, brought it home, brought it to my place. I was working on the car for several months. Finally got the car where it was roadworthy, and my dad was very ill. He was home from the hospital. We spent the day riding around in the car, and that was the last day I saw my dad. About 3 weeks later, he was gone.
I'm really sorry to hear about that.
It was a fabulous day.
I'm really sorry to hear about that. And we can see your dad here in the picture as well. I can see why you're saying that it was a great day, because this is what he loved.
Yeah.
And he wanted to do this. How long had he been talking about getting this car?
My dad was always into cars.
Yeah.
And through his adult years, that was a passion that he set aside in the responsibility of being a father. So as he got older, he acquired a 31 Chevy. In fact, we bought that one together.
Yeah.
It was a great road trip we had.
Yeah.
And so he decided he wanted to get another one. So this was the car he picked out, and we went and got it together. And he was really jazzed up about getting the car, and it's just you know, it was a shame he didn't get to enjoy it more.
Did he know he was sick?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he knew he was sick, but you know, when you've got chronic problems,
yeah,
it only takes a little bit to make it more than you can handle. And
yeah.
But yeah.
I'm really sorry to hear that, but no, you know, at least you were with him. At least he was doing what he wanted to do, because a lot of the time with chronic illnesses, you could just be bedbound, but he was out there.
Yeah, and
I mean, his spirit was not sick, obviously.
Thanks to my dad, I have the car collection he always wanted.
Yeah.
So.
And what's in that car collection?
So I have a 32 Plymouth that was his daily driver in the 30s, or in the 60s.
Yeah.
He bought it in '63. I have a 31 Chevy that was his car that he bought in 2011. I have a 77 Jeep CJ7 that he had bought in 1985, and then I have a 67 Pontiac Milan's that I bought. My son and I are building a 70 Challenger together, and I bought a 72 Charger for my son that's in the Army. Wow. So that's pretty much my car collection.
It's a beautiful collection.
Yeah, and so I'm planning to add another car to it soon.
What would that be?
We're gonna be getting a 65 through 67 Vet at some point soon.
Wow.
That's gonna be my next project.
That's amazing.
My wife says I have to finish one before I buy another one.
She's a smart lady.
Yeah.
She's a smart lady, and I love it because I appreciate all the classics, but then I do like the Chargers as well. So you've got a good collection there, and now you're adding a Corvette to it as well. So. You're doing, I think, what your father would be so proud of as well, is he passed on that trait to you. And I mentioned this a lot in my videos, it's always nice, especially for the younger generation, to learn it. Yeah. Because that's how you guys learned it, and that's how everybody, 95% of everybody here at the show, that's how they learned it. Through dad, through somebody, through an uncle, trial and error, and we don't have that in this generation. Yeah. So we're relying on guys like you is then getting passed on to his grandson, I think that would mean a lot. And you'll be proud, and I can understand that this is emotional for you, and I appreciate it, and I thank you for letting me come and film you and get your dad's story on this.
Drove the 57 Chevy from Ohio to Mississippi last year for cruising the coast.
Yep.
And the one day we were driving around and we happened on an antique store that said going out of business. I said, well, you got to stop there.
You have to
and
stop
we went
there.
in and Marilyn was on display. I paid $20 for Marilyn and I put her by the car. It was a big hit, but the wind kept knocking it over. So before I came down here today, I've made some adjustments so that Marilyn can stand all day, and I think the red dress goes with the car very well, and I think it's been a big hit. You know, I've seen a lot of guys get the picture taken with their arm around Marilyn this weekend. So,
well, my fascination with the 57 Bel Air is from the movies. You know,
yeah.
I mean, I would love to have you know, that I have this great story behind it, but no, I love the look of it, and from movies and from watching the old classics. And this was the car. This is the car. It's like the Cadillac, but it's not so wide, it's not as long, so it is drivable. So one day I can at least drive this. But,
yeah, I mean, in this car, even today, as old as it is, it's a very comfortable car to drive. You know, like I said, we drove 1,000 miles each way to go to Mississippi with the car, and it was a comfortable ride. We had no discomfort whatsoever.
So come tell us, how old is it?
How what?
How old is it? Like what have you gotten fixed and what haven't you touched?
So when my father bought the car, the bodywork was all done. There was no interior. The drivetrain had a lot of problems. The rear axle, the rear end gears were bad. The bearings were bad. So I rebuilt all of that. Shortly after my dad died, the engine that was in the car died, and so I bought another engine to put in it from a local machine shop. After a couple years, I had a problem with that engine. I wound up taking that out and totally rebuilding the engine myself, so that I know what it is. At the same time, I put a more modern transmission in it, so I have a 204R 4-speed overdrive transmission in the car now, built by a local racer. Yeah. So the transmission guy actually races these transmissions, so it's very well built.
You know, it's reliable because this is your driver.
Tires in first gear, and it squeals the tires in the first to second shift. So I'm very happy with it.
I bet you are. Let's have a look at these interiors because
when we bought the car, actually the previous owner had he had the Krager wire wheels on it, and I didn't like that, so I came to the Tri-Five Nationals show here the first year, saw the painted wheels with the factory, with the body color paint on the wheels and the chrome stainless steel hubcaps, and my boys and I both agreed this was the correct wheels for the car, so I acquired Wheel Vintiques aftermarket wheels and bought a set of hubcaps off of eBay.
You did well.
So very happy with the look of the wheels, and then it has to have the wide white walls.
Yes, of course. Of course. It looks great. It looks great, and it's even more better for you. Every time you sit in it, you're going to be thinking about your dad.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, you're going to have those memories. This car's not going anywhere. It's going to get passed down, and it's for your kids to know the history of it as well. It's now on Rana's radar, so hopefully your son will see it and know the story behind it and the meaning of the car.
Yes, absolutely. My younger son and I, or excuse me, my older son and I, we had a lot of conflict when he was a teenager, as fathers and sons do. But the one place that brought us together was being in the garage wrenching on the cars.
That's amazing. See, that's yep, and that's why we hope for these car shows to continue, so we can hear more stories like you, and there could be more stories like yourself being made and created more memories like this, because this generation needs it.
Yep, very much so.
They sure do. I appreciate that again.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I love it. You know what, everybody? I'm here. This is the awesome car culture right here. Can we just introduce ourselves?
Ben Price, Steve Todd, Clay Leak, Dave time.
Rick Russ.
And you guys all look like you're having a fabulous time.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Please, Clay, tell us the story.
Anyway, I walk in there, and I had just came from private school back in the public school.
Yep.
They all knew I boxed in high school. A lot of private schools don't, or public schools don't box, but we had it in there. And they had this boxing kangaroo. And so I asked
Sorry,
the guy,
just before I turned the camera on, Clay was telling me that he went to the state fairgrounds when you were in high school. They took a whole bunch of them, whole football team. You guys were in your jerseys, and they got to the fairgrounds and they had a decision to make. Whether they were going to enter the ring to fight a bear or go in the other ring to fight a kangaroo.
So you pay $5, and if you could go 3 rounds with the kangaroo, and I'm trying to get the rules, and the guy was very vague on the rules. And he said that if you can just stay in there for 3 rounds, and each round is 30 seconds, and you win $5. Or I'm sorry, $20, but you pay $5 to fight it. So the little kangaroo was sitting in the corner on a little like a milk crate.
How little was it?
It looked very small.
Okay.
And then when they ring the bell, and I realized when they put 16-ounce gloves on me, and I look at the kangaroo and he's got 4-ounce gloves, fighting gloves on him, and I'm thinking, well, you know, and everybody's chanting. Now there's 200-300 people around the ring chanting, you know. And I walk in there and they ring the bell. Kangaroo doesn't get up, so I walk across to the kangaroo and I swing at him. All of a sudden, Rona, he stands up. And he's 6 foot tall, and he hit me so many times in my face that I can even cover up like this. I projectile bleeding blood. Blood is just skeeting out, skeeting out of my nose. I'm trying to get this off. This kangaroo is wearing me out. I throw the gloves off. I said I'm through with this, and then fast forward 20 years to my high school reunion. Good-looking girl walks up and looks at my name tag, and she says, "Clay Lee, aren't you the one who got your ass whipped by the kangaroo?" So I told the story to these guys, and now I can't live it down.
Oh, I believe it. I believe
And
it.
they've got, I saw one on YouTube the other day that's muscled up.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
They're strong.
They are.
Don't go near them. They may look cute unless it's in a zoo. Do not go approaching any wild kangaroos no matter what you do. Well, I appreciate that,
Thank
sir.
you for stopping and talking
Thank
to
you.
us.
No, thank you for pulling me over. Now that you told
Now,
me
what
that
is your
story,
YouTube site?
it's Rana's Radar.
Rana's Radar.
So I'm Rana.
R-O-N-A?
R-A-N-A.
R-A-N-A.
Every American thinks it's R-O-N-A. I think it's the way I'm saying
You're like
it.
Rona Mitra. You're good looking like Rona
No.
Mitra.
Oh, thank you. Now, let's get to the cars. Who's got what?
That's mine.
All right, sir. Oh, come and tell us, what have you got here?
Okay.
Well, since you're on Rana's Radar, we got to talk about classic cars.
That's right. Well, it's a 55 Chevy, and it's I've had it for 10 years, which is unusual for me. I usually don't keep them that long, but I've had it for 10 years, and
You get bored easily?
I just like to flip them and make money.
Fair enough.
My grandson won't let me sell it. That's basically what it is.
Well, it's a very nice looking 55 Bel Air.
Thank you. Thank
Very
you.
nice.
Yeah. And yeah, it's a 354 speed. Got a straight axle, and it's a gasser. They call them gassers. So.
Do you just stick to the Tri-Fives, or do you just get any other classic cars?
Well, when this is my first Tri-Five. I've had a bunch of other cars before, but it's the first time I ever had a Tri-Five. So I kind of like them.
Oh, you should like
This
it.
is a good place for them, right?
This is a good place. You can't say you don't like a Tri-Five if you're here at the National.
There you go. That's
You
right.
have to like them, and why not? Not only do you have a Tri-Five, but you've got the 55.
Right.
Yeah, this is one of the top ones. So,
There you go.
I mean, I personally like the 57, but
You like the fins on the back.
oh, I do. It's from all the movies, and they look so nice as well. So
Right.
yeah, but the 55s were very significant. So I have to appreciate it
All right.
for what they are and what they began.
There you go. That's my buddy's 57.
Well, let's get your buddy in here.
Hey.
See, this is what happens. If you call me over, you gotta be prepared. I'm gonna hassle you.
Yeah, I'm just glad that we connect because I really like your channel. It's good.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
I completely blanked out on your name.
Rana,
I
that's
remember
fine.
now. I remember.
You won't forget it now. It's
Absolutely,
very easy.
absolutely.
Okay, so what do you have here?
Well, 57 Chevrolet, of course. This one used to be a drag car out of northern Indiana. He raced it for about 26 years. A guy by the name of Steve Brown. I found it at a swap meet about 5 years ago. I haven't changed a thing other than the transmission. I put a stick.
Okay,
I got
so if
more.
this was a drag racing car,
Yeah.
Tell us about the
just
engine.
a hobby car. It's a 327.
What would make this engine different to a 57 Bel Air that is not made
Well,
for
this
drag
was
racing?
actually a 6-cylinder car when it was built.
Okay.
So he changed it out, put the 327 in it. He raced it with an automatic. I put the 4-speed back in it.
Okay, because it's your driver.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, which I can understand.
But I
that.
still like the look, so it's still got the drag slicks on it.
It's beautiful.
Well, thank you very much.
It's absolutely beautiful. You know, we're here at the Tri-Fives, and something that I like to do is always distinguish between the 55, 56 and 57, mainly for myself. You know, mainly because I used to never really understand it, and then I used to understand it, then I used to get confused and get them wrong, but I'm getting it now. 57, it's got a lot more
Well, the fins
different.
kind of give it away.
The fins give it away big
The
time.
57, yeah.
Yep. The gas is behind on the trim.
Right.
Yep. So the 55s, when they first introduced it, they had the gas filling it up here in the doors like we do in the modern day cars. And then they started to get funky with the 56 and put it in the tail light, which is one of my favorites.
But this one's actually been changed. It's got the tank there.
This is not even here, so we're...
Yeah, because he used to race it.
Of course, of course. So every time you fill up, you got to open the trunk.
Right.
The trunk, not the boot.
Right.
We may be talking about kangaroos, but we're here in the States, so I'm going to have to say
I know
trunk.
what it is. I know what it is.
You know what it is. Oh, well, that's awesome.
Australian.
You speak Australian, that's good to know. That's good to know. I don't have to learn the language. No, that's awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Okay, wonderful. There we are. Camera I thought was working there for a minute. Phil, you've got yourself a rare 57. You've got yourself a rare 57.
Yes,
What makes it rare?
it's got a 57 fuel injection system in it, 283. It's a 150 business coupe with no back seat in it.
150 business cube.
Yes,
Okay. That's because it has no back seat into it, or?
right, no back seat in it.
All right. So we'll go have a look at that. And the fuel injection, when did that get added to the car? Or was it wouldn't have been
I
stock?
added it to it because it actually was a 6-cylinder car, and I added 04.
In 04. Very nice. And did you restore everything else yourself as well?
Yes, I did everything myself.
Everything.
Yep,
Very nice. And how long have you had it for?
33 years.
33 years. Okay. So 33 years ago when you got it, was it
It was a basket case.
a basket case? Oh wow. Well, you've done a heck of a job on it.
Thank you.
It looks very nice. So I'm going to go and get the car in more detail.
Okay, thank you.
That looks cool. Oh, there we go. It's 150 cube. It's got no back seat at all. The fuel injection, beautiful. Now, all I'm thinking about is what would all that space be used for if there's no back seat into it? Not sure how you would get access into it. So let me ask Phil. So Phil, did you make the back seat like that with no
No,
seat?
it's factory.
It's factory. What was the purpose of it?
Salesman's cars.
Salesman's cars.
Yeah.
And what would they put in the back seat?
Salesman supplies.
Okay. And how do they get access to it? It's a drag racing. I can't complain because I love the noise.
I'm hard here.
No problems, I understand. So how do they get access to the back seat?
Through the front door, just open the door and push the seat down.
Okay. You would think that if it was made to keep supplies as a storage, that it would have some kind of an access even from the
Back, yeah.
From the trunk.
You think so, yes.
Yeah, but no, it didn't.
No.
That's factory, that's how it came. Okay, well, that's awesome. You've got a nice find for yourself there.
Thank you.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Thank you. That's it. I mean, I like it. It's good. It's a lot more storage if you've got carrying boxes of newspapers or magazines or whatever you're selling. But it would have been convenient to have it,
Right.
you know? That is rare. I have never seen that actually, so very cool. How are you?
Doing real good.
Who's Hot Rod?
You have a little accent. I don't think you're from around here.
No, I'm not, sir. I'm from Australia. Rana. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. We're from Tennessee.
Oh, well, I'm living in Tennessee now.
You are? What part?
Knoxville.
Knoxville?
Yep.
That's about 65 miles from me. I live in Crossville, Tennessee, right on Interstate 40.
Okay, nice. Nice. Nice area, yep.
Yes,
I've been
ma'am.
there about 5 months now.
Yeah. Like it?
I love it.
Good for you.
I love it. I've been there before, so I knew exactly where I wanted to live.
Yes,
Whose
ma'am.
Hot Rod is this? Oh, come on over. What was your name again?
Lee Netherton.
Liam?
Lee?
Oh, Lee, sorry. It's the accent, okay?
Yes,
you
ma'am.
guys may make fun of me, but I have trouble understanding some
Oh, I
words
don't think
too.
I don't want to make fun of you. I think it's sexy as can be.
Oh, thank you. Okay, Lee, so tell me, what I have no idea. What have you got here?
1955 gasser. Just a cool old hot rod. We drive this car everywhere. We've hand built every part and piece of it. I mean, it's just a very cool old car.
Oh, it's definitely cool, that's for sure. I'm loving the engine here. 302 cubic inches, that's what it says on your
Yes, ma'am.
hood right there. And did you restore it? I mean, not restore it. 'Cause
Yes.
I wouldn't call this a restoration, I would call this a modification.
Yes.
So you've modified this yourself?
Every part and piece of it. Only thing that we didn't do was letter it, and a friend of mine done the lettering on it. But everything else was done right there in our garage. It took us about 12 months to do it.
Okay, that's not too bad. And what was it like, the 55, when you first got it? How bad was it?
It was so bad that nobody would have wanted to even took on the job.
Really? How'd
It
you
was-
come across it? Where'd you get it from?
I got it from a friend of mine. And it
Lee
was-
Bo and Dr. Yotha?
Yes, ma'am.
Care to share? Who's Dr. Yotha there?
Dr. Yoder is a very good friend of mine, and he went through, had colon cancer. And anyway, all the kids was out there in the garage, and they talking, and he said, "Pa," he said, "well, you're kind of like a doctor too, but you're a cancer doctor for cars." Because he does sheet metal fabrication work, you know, and he's
Yep.
very talented at it, and so we just got to call him Dr. Yoder.
Oh, that's cool.
But anyway, and they all call me Lebo, so that's just me and his name on the doors.
All right, that's awesome. Now, you said it was in very bad condition.
Yes, ma'am.
Where did you pick it up from?
A friend of mine named Ronnie Gunner.
Okay, and he had it for how long?
40 years.
40 years, just sitting there.
Yes, he's got a bunch of old cars, and it's just been sitting out in the pasture. Been there for about 40 years.
Okay. Well, has he seen it since you've got it?
Oh, yes.
And what does he say?
He loves it.
He loves it. I bet
Loves
he
it.
does. I bet he does. And how fast can you get it to go?
It's about a 8-second car, an 1/8 mile, you know, about a 1280 car.
Okay.
Or I mean, you know, 1280, 1270 in the quarter.
And what's the horsepower with that engine?
I have no idea. It's just
Okay.
a home-built motor, you know.
And I love it. It's home-built motor, yet it can get registered.
Yes, ma'am.
It's legal enough to drive.
It has tags and insurance on it, and I drive it everywhere.
I love that. I love that because, you know, in many places, you wouldn't be able to do that. You wouldn't be able to build up an engine and put in the car and run in Tennessee.
Yeah, it has all lights, everything works on it. It's a completely legal car.
What's that there? Is that the battery? I mean,
That
it's
is
too
the fuel
big.
cell.
Oh, it's the fuel cell.
Uh-huh.
And that's the
That's
battery.
the battery.
There. Yeah. The fuel cell is there. Now the 55s, the fuel was at the door. They had the
Yes.
little fuel door.
Yes, it was welded up
Right. So where do you fill up now?
right here.
Oh, you open up the trunk.
Yeah, and it does.
Okay. That's cool. That's very cool. Well, I appreciate that.
How'd you like to go down the road fast?
We can't go fast. Look at this. Unless you're going on the drag strip, then I will get in there.
Here's a picture of this car.
Hopefully my camera picks it up. Oh, wow. Let me see now. Oh my goodness, that's just junk.
That was this car.
Did it have a motor in it?
No.
No, nothing. It just had the body. Even that
Part of
was
the
beat
body.
up.
Right here's another picture of the side.
Oh wow.
It had no
What
fault.
did you use? Like, how did you just start fixing and...
Flat stock 4x8 sheets of sheet metal. Made all the floor pans, trunk pans, wheel wells, patched all the doors, bent all the rocker panels.
That's awesome. And how do you know how to fix this? Do you work at a hot rod shop or?
Just been around them all my life and just been into hot rods and cars. Just that's what I'm into.
Oh, that's
We
great.
just work on all kinds of them. We love it, and that's something we enjoy to do.
I love it. This is great, and that speaks of the. I always say the car culture, but today I'm going to be talking about the Tri-Fives because the Tri-Five series has got a big following.
Yes, it does.
Very hardcore, very big, and after, well, they introduced the first small block V8
Yes,
in the
it did.
55, so that really launched off the faster cars, the bigger engines. It was the beginning of it.
Yes, ma'am. 265 cubic inch.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was just under 300 horsepower, I believe, at that time.
Well, close
The
to
V8
that.
small block.
Yes.
Close to that. No, you're right.
1
definitely not
horsepower
right.
per cubic inch. Most of them made around 201, but you know, if you got 1 horsepower per cubic inch, you was doing something.
Okay. And that was big in that day.
Yes, ma'am.
In 1955, that was huge. And then that's why even up until now, the value has only increased.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. No, that's great. Well, I appreciate that.
Okay.
What were you going to say?
I said everybody used them for hot rods, race cars, and they was just beat up, tore up, and threw it away, you know.
Yep. And I like how you can still do stuff to it. You can still get one and just take the engine out and
Yes, ma'am.
customize it, make it your own, give it your own stamp. So, no, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. Can you close the hood at all?
Oh, yeah.
Can I just, yeah, I want to see it with the...
Daniel, come here, let me close this hood.
You need 2 people to close it?
Yeah. So, well, just to be sure you don't skin the paint up. Yeah, I
That looks good. Will you be drag racing this at all today or tomorrow?
Yeah. Today, here in just a little bit.
Can you take a passenger in there?
I probably can. We could just ease down through our one time.
Okay.
You come back by, we'll make a pass in it.
All right. That sounds good. I think I'm going to take you up on that, Lee.
Okay.
All right. Appreciate it. Thank
Appreciate
you.
Nice to meet you.
Okay, well, Gary, why don't you come here? You've got an original 57 Bel Air 4-door sedan here, and well, you can tell us how original is it, and when did you come across it?
We tried to buy it from the original owner 40 years ago, and she ended up giving it to her neighbor,
Yep.
who took her places after she couldn't drive anymore. And it ended up, it stayed at her house, actually her garage, until she died, and he got it. He had it another 25 or so years. And after he passed, we bought it about 4 years after from his kids. So we've had it 18 years.
So,
So
3 owners,
Three
all of you
owners.
guys lived close together,
yeah,
neighbors,
it was bought in DuQuoin, Illinois,
Yep.
from Hall Chevrolet, and it stayed in the same town all its life.
in the same town all its life.
So we bought it, and we've done
What have you done?
suspension parts, we've done muffler, we've done new radiator, gas tank, rear springs, just to try to upkeep it.
Okay.
And we haven't really done anything to the body.
So the body and the
body,
color is
except
all.
what it had been done, and the old lady had it. Original dealers used to work on stuff.
Okay.
She got hit in the side over here one time, probably when it was real new, 5 or 6 years old.
Okay.
And they repaired that. So we haven't done anything body-wise, just try to keep it original.
So this is what the 57 four-door
It's actually got
belly.
seat covers on it. They had seat covers on it, and I've left it. So the original seat covers are still underneath there.
Okay. Okay, but you can really tell, see that the doors there, it's exactly
Yeah, the door, that's all original
all
stuff.
original.
Of course, that rust over there where you're always laying your arm on
Yeah,
it.
of course, of course. And what about the engine here?
The engine stock, 283 V8, 2-barrel.
Stock from 1957.
Yeah.
Wow.
However many years old.
Wow.
It's a 2-barrel motor. It's got a power glide, which is a 2-speed automatic.
Yeah.
53,000 original miles.
And how do you maintain it? What do you do?
I just change the oil every once in a while and
That's it.
drive it. Not really much to them. They're pretty simple. Right before we came, about 3 days ago, I had to put a front motor mount on it because the motor mount was trying to move.
What's the motor mount?
One of the
You're gonna have
rubbers
to tell
went
me.
bad. Right there, that cushion right there. The
Oh,
top
okay.
cushion.
Yep.
It just melted down to nothing. Looked like a melted marshmallow from
wow.
the age, 60-some years old, and oil on it.
Something was bound to happen.
Yeah, and the motor was trying to raise up, so I put a new cushion on it and lowered
And
it.
that fixed it. That fixed it. Now, you came across this, but were you looking? Do you like the 57s as
Oh, yeah,
opposed to the 55 and 56?
Yes, I've had 57s pretty well all my life.
Okay.
I've had one in high school. My first car was
Was a
it was
57?
about like this when it was different color blue.
Yeah.
And I've got a 57 sedan delivery at home right now. It's a wagon with no windows.
Yep.
It's a modified. It's got 427 in it. Sort of a drag wagon. So it's not on the road right now.
Oh, it's nice because you guys buy the cars because you have memories.
Right, exactly.
I want a 57 Bentley convertible because I think it looks nice.
Yeah, that's what my wife's wanting.
Oh, there you
And now
go.
they're getting out of the price range. They're
Yes.
getting so high, they're crazy.
Yeah, it is. So
Yeah,
one day.
Well, I've had other ones between. I've had 4-door hard top, sports sedan. One that was a lot nicer. This one, it's up in Maine now. And we've always had one to hang on to and drive.
Gary, can you show me where you fill up the gas?
Yeah, sure can.
Can I open
do
it?
you want to guess?
I've
Do you know?
I do know. It's this one here, right?
Flips in.
Okay, flip this way. There we go. Can I just do it one more time? Okay, so this is the 57. So off memory, remember we had the 56s that was in the tail light, and the 55s is what we've got today with the door. And here is the 56, which I do like it. I like it, but I like the 56s more with how it's hidden inside the tail light.
Okay,
It's
yeah,
a small.
you push it in the whole tail light bulb.
Yeah, because I mean your chrome might get fingerprints.
Yeah.
But no, that's brilliant. I appreciate that. Thank you, Gary.
Alrighty.
Thank you. Hey Ed, how you going?
Fantastic. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. We've got a beautiful car here. It's absolutely shining. Tell us about it. What is it exactly?
56 210. Bought it almost 4 years ago, like 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
And I've been on it for 4 years. Every nut and bolt, rotisserie.
So you fixed this?
Yeah.
So 4 years ago, what did it look like? Love it. Built, not bought.
Built, not bought. And it wasn't bad.
Okay.
I mean, everything's been changed though.
Everything's been
I started
changed.
out with a pretty good car.
Now I do like what's happening here. This is what drew me.
It's got a LS3 in it, 6.2 all aluminum. 4L65E transmission and a GM ECU.
Why is this the way it is?
That's all just the air intake and the computer stuff and sensors.
Very nice. So the air intake, is that
Cold, nice cold AC.
how you've lowered it? The car has been lowered?
Yeah, it's been lowered.
Yeah.
It's probably about 5 inches. It's
Okay.
got QA1 coilovers all the way around on it.
And did you do the paint yourself as well?
No, I did have Schiller Hot Rods did the paint, and Maiden Design did the interior.
Very nice. And were you looking for a 210 or did you just come across it?
Pardon me?
Were you looking for a 210 or did you just come across it?
I did. I wanted a 210 and I wanted a 56.
Why did you want a 56
My
210?
brother's got two 57s and I've had a 56 before. And
Okay.
I just wanted to do a kind of a pretty cool 56, a driver, and it kind of got out of control a little bit.
Well, it definitely looks like a very, very cool 56 210. It's very nice. You've done the 56 crowd proud, I think. How long do you think it took you to do everything?
4 years,
The
almost
full
to
4
the
years.
week.
Okay.
Almost exactly 4 years.
Yeah.
I think it's like 47 months total.
Wow. Wow. Well, that's, you know, that's not uncommon.
Yeah.
That's not uncommon because there's a lot of work involved here.
A lot of the
Look at these
interior is
classics,
all
even the trunks
magnets,
look pretty.
so you can put stuff. That's all papers and stuff.
What's in there?
This is all the stereo amp and the battery and storage, but it's all, everything's all magnets. So the whole interior and the console, everything comes apart in a matter of seconds with all magnets. Because there's a lot of stuff I need to get to on in the console. A lot of the controllers and everything's in the console, and I had to get to it. And he made it. He did a pretty cool job on the interior.
Well done. And you've kept the gas pump here?
tank. Yep.
Yep. Great. You haven't changed that. That's always neat.
No.
I wouldn't want to change that because that's just so unique to the.
Yeah, you gotta have that.
You gotta have that. You gotta have that.
I'm racing it tomorrow.
You're racing it.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Well, I ain't gonna go fast. Maybe. I mean, it made 550 horsepower. Well,
Okay.
but I get almost 20 miles a gallon. So I drive it. In the week I had, 2 weeks I had it together, I put almost 1,500 miles on it.
Wow.
So I drive it.
You drive it. Well, you spend all this time and it looks this good. Why wouldn't you drive it?
You gotta drive it.
You gotta drive it.
I will never have another car I can't drive.
You've had a car that you couldn't drive, it sounds
I've had
like.
race cars, big motors and stuff, and you can't drive it. So
You're gonna turn it on, are you? Go for it.